Welcome back to the URG podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest, my brother Jay Bowers.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. By the way, those fucking vocals you just had right now.
Come on, bro. I'm on point today.
You saw that shit?
I'm on point today.
I don't know. Like as you were singing it, I was like, oh shit. Fucking damn.
I'm as on point as your beard is today. You know what I'm saying?
I did this like, well, it wasn't me. It was Kenny. Yeah. Kenny was like, he saw me on FaceTime. It was like, that's gotta get shaped up before you do anything. Before you go out in public near me, like, so he just did it real quick, and I was like, all right, bet. So he was able to take care of it for me. So, but I'm happy to be here, brother. I love it. You know, I see what you do. And second you called me, like, you want to do it? I said, yup.
Fire, bro. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, actually. Like, you film your podcast here, and The Roast. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to go check it out. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, so it's been a long time coming to this moment to where we do our own podcast together.
Right. You know, I remember when we first tried to do it, it was me, you, and AO, and we didn't even like take it serious. Yeah. And the first thing we kept looking at each other like, yeah, we're getting canceled. It's so stupid. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, you just said it first. It's a long time coming. We did our own things with the podcasts and music and all that stuff, and for us to actually be able to sit down and dig inside to the history of what led to here. I think that's by far one of the best things to come across, because people know like URG Studios, and then people know you, people know me, but they don't know fully like what came to be prior to all of this. You know, what was it like? What, 2016, 2017?
The first time I ever went to a studio was with this man and with Kenny.
Dude, all right, so
at Vendetta, shout out Vendetta
Studios, still love them to death. Cast and Fame, dope people. So this is how like it kind of went about. So for those who don't know, my late cousin, he went by the name of Stomper, very well known underground gangster rapper, right? Obviously, I don't do that. I just rap the way I need to, and he's always taught me that. He brought me into Vendetta, and I was like, damn. Vendetta's always been the studio where, regardless of where I live, Corona Ranch, I always went to Garden Grove. And then you and I linked up, and you were talking about music and all that stuff. And then I separately would link up with Kenny, and because I was like, oh, cool. Like Kenny and I were like, we didn't know each other. We knew of each other in high school, but like we were able to mesh by the same person, Trevor. And you and I have known each other in high school. So when I brought you down there, I was like, damn.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Trevor, the one that played the
yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
so I've known Trevor since.
Shout out to Trevor.
Trevor's dope, dude. I've known Trevor since we were kids. I think elementary school, first grade. I was in first grade. One of my first friends in the community that I lived in. And he's always been this guy with music. Always. You could text him, call him, all that stuff. He's the same guy, just older, and with the kid. So it's so crazy, like looking back at that. When I was looking back at that recently, and I'm like, damn. Like,
yeah, I didn't know that was the connection for you and Kenny.
Yeah, it was Trevor. It was Trevor, and Trevor had texted me when I lived in Rancho, and he was like, yo, how's everything been? I see you doing everything with music. This is like when I was still in that SoundCloud, like dropping shit left and right. It was Eyes in the Dark. No, not that one. Maybe. That was actually a pretty good one too, because Kenny will not shut up about that. But nah, it was I'm So Digital days, classic. It was during the Eyes in the Dark when I was living in Ranch, and I was like, I got to take this shit serious. I'm 18 years old, 19 years old. I want to take this serious. And he's like, I see what you're doing. How would you like to meet with me and my friend Kenny? Kenny produces. I said, yeah, let's jam out. Like, we didn't even plan on doing any session. We meet up. Kenny and I hit it off really well. Fast forward to now, at the church. Fast forward to now. Oh, dude.
Wait, let's explain, bro. Like, we had a cook up in the church. Like, when I'm saying in the church, like, legitimately, we was cooking in the church. We wasn't allowed to cuss. We had to be on some like good timing, good behavior. You know what I'm saying? And cooking up some heat.
But we were cooking at heat, dude. It was like we were always respectful every single time.
Yeah, facts.
And we were just writing lyrics, like obviously keeping it clean. But the main thing was just the cook up of the production. So it was just like, and what's funny is Kenny will play old beats and be like, who let me play that? Like, it was funny because I'm like, bro, that's still way better than when I started, because I didn't know, like, for the production side, I'm such a late bloomer in that factor. I've always been just writing and recording. 9400 was a testament of that, where I was like, this is actually the time where I actually was producing shit. And I was like, is it going to look good? And it turned out being really well. But, like, yeah, dude, that's how Kenny and I kind of grouped up there. And then I was like, you know what? I got this homie here that is now a new homie. And then I got this homie here that is dedicated to music at his home. What if I just meshed them? And now, fast forward to this day, like, we're all, like, obviously me being out of state, it's a little different, but, like, we're still all, like, in unison to an extent. You know, you and Kenny are always, like, cooking. Me, I'm like, I'm going to find a way to cook again, even though I'm, like, miles away. And it's so dope to see that, because it's, like, that's, like, the OG3 of that. And it's so cool to see that, because it's like, damn, we all linked up, started cooking, and, like, we've been on a sick one since. You know, there was multiple things that grew and bloomed, and seeing you guys function when we're all working together, or it's just literally just me doing my own thing and then you guys are cooking. You guys get so fucking technical, and I'm just sitting there like, what the hell just came out of your mouth, dude? The podcast, I'll get technical as fuck all the time. But, like, music wise, I'm only technical in, like, how many syllables can I put in this verse?
Nah, bro, but I feel like I haven't cooked up with Kenny in a while, but, like, the Kenny J Urgi sessions, it's like everybody's just a motherfucking killer in the room, bro. Like, cause you come up with some shit that I'm like, what the? I remember there was one song, bro. There's one song that we did. I don't remember what song it was.
Do you remember the lyrics? 'Cause I might remember it.
No, but maybe you'll remember the story. So there was, like, a hook that you wrote, right? Mm-hmm. And Kenny was gonna do, like, some of the layers, but then, like, for those that don't know, Kenny is also, like, he's like a singer, you know what I mean? Like, he could do runs and, like, harmonize and shit. Yeah. So it's like, all right, yeah, Kenny, come on, just do the harmonies, whatever, you got it, bro. You get it. Do your little whoop-de-doo. Yeah, all right. And then he goes in there to do it, and then, like, you had already laid down a reference, and then he was like, wait, can you play the reference again? And then, like, he played the reference, and then he, like, kind of did it, and then we were, like, listening to it back, and I was like, nah, bro, Jay's low-key just sounds smooth, like, because, like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like sometimes you tap into, like, a pocket, and you can reach, like, a certain tone. Like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember the song name, but the way that, like, I function, and I haven't really dove deep about this to anybody, so this is, like, something new that I'm expressing, but I'm not that knowledgeable when it comes to, this particular song, that's a B minor, you know, or this is a, you know, yeah. I'm not like that. I Google the shit out of it. I will find 9400 was, like, perfect example, because I would search up, like, Gang Gang was one of the songs I based off of, and that was actually Deja Vu. And I would search it. I was like, okay, it's this key, this BPM, and I would write that down and I would put it in my files. But with music wise, kind of getting the ear of it, I'm such a sucker for not mimicking the sound, but following the rhythm. And I will try to mimic the same vocal, and I've gotten more confident with that. But it's like, damn, like I will not purposely, but I will piss myself off where I'm like, nah, do it again. Yeah. And if I have a one take and it's happened where I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I won't say a word after. But if I go through that and I'm like, I'll hear it again, I'll be like, all right, let's do it again. Even if everyone's telling me that's a solid fucking take, like, I could do better than that. What is it? Is it like the tone, the timing, both, like, or is it just like a feeling? I think it's just a feeling. So, because there's some times where I'm working and it's like, it's probably the tone. There's times where I'm working through that where it's the lyrics. There's times where I'm going through that and it's like the fucking the timing of it, because I want shit to hit hard. And I think as I've been more versatile with the sounds that I've had. Like, you see shit like kind of like Blackheart, then you see shit similar to like Down For Me, and then you see shit similar to like Whoa. And Whoa was like the debut of all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, and that did numbers. And as I tried different projects, learned different things,
I was like, I had this conversation actually recently with Kenny, and I actually had it with you, where I was like, none of this fucking depressing style. Whoa, did numbers. Let's fucking make some bangers. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, obviously, I stay true to myself, but I've had a history of just vibing out, having a good time. But I'm so meticulous with that, and I've learned to be more meticulous with that, where it's like, I got this song idea, and I will send Kenny so many fucking references from beats that were made on YouTube. It's like, we can make something better than that, or similar popular songs. And I'm like, this is what I got. I've sent him like fucking like 7 songs in one text. I'm like, wait, I got another one. I got another one. I got another one. And when it comes to like, if we're in here, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because of our dynamic, where it's like, we'll work, and I'd be like, hold on. And I start looking through shit. I start typing. I'm like, all right, cool. If I got a lyric that doesn't have a home and it fits well, and I've never used it, I will use it and tweak it a little bit. And I'd be like, wait, play that again. And I start going, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know, like, because I know how it works when, like, Kenny's here or sometimes here. I'm usually over here, and you're locked into the computer. And I'll have, like, my AirPod on, or I'll listen to what you guys are doing. I'm like, okay, give me a second. I'll start kind of going over and over and over. Kenny has, like, it's always in a loop, in an 8-bar loop. And I will write that shit before it's structured.
Yeah.
And it's just about getting the feel of that. And I've learned that in due time, as I start perfecting that, where it's like, okay, this style doesn't work, but this does. This flow doesn't work, but this does. And it worked perfectly for me.
Yeah. Do you think that's something that you more like? Is it something that always came natural, or is it something that you more developed over just years of recording different styles and figuring out what fits you the best?
Honestly, in the most humble way possible, it was just practice. So when I first was like telling my dad I want to do music, my dad, and you know how he is, he treated it like he was coaching me. And I'm like,
he's like, get your ass in the booth.
Straight up. Like, we were going to Vendetta Studios together as a kid. Mind you, I was a senior in high school. And this is before, actually, no, we'll do it towards the I'm So Digital time.
Yeah.
The first song I did freshman year.
Hello.
And Hello, legendary.
I'm so glad we're talking about
this. I'll break that shit down real fast. So we're going the night before. He calls me upstairs, and he's like, here's the beat. Say it to me. I was so nervous. Like, I was just like, he goes, nah. He would rewind it. He goes, with passion. Like, he's fucking coaching me, bro.
Pops, he knows about, like, Ice Cube. Like, he grew up on that gangster shit.
And
so
he's like, fucking show me that you feel it, right? He's like, show me that you fucking feel it. And I was like, all right. So I start going. He goes, that's the one. So when I did it at the studio, I'm isolated, right? No one's staring at me or whatever. So I had more confidence. Confidence went up to a T. And then that's when I started letting it out. And my dad goes, all right. He goes, how do you feel? And I was like, I like it, right? But I'm not as confident at the time yet, because this is my first time. And he goes, I think you could do another one better. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I do it, and it's even better. And he's like, he's showing me, because he's very animated. Walks into the booth. He goes, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, this is how you got to do it. And I'm like, all right, bet.
He was about to do the voice.
I was like, God damn. All right, bet. Straight up. Like, give me a scarecrow. Yeah. Fucking, I don't know. He's just fucking ridiculous. But he would be like, all right, do it again. So and I do it. And he's like, that's what I'm fucking looking for. So I think once I just separated with him on the music level, obviously I still love him to death, I learned how to do it my way, the same type of style and technique, where when I'm on my way to a studio, or if I'm using the home studio and I know I'm going to record, I am practicing that shit every single time until I record.
Showing up prepared.
Like, I need to make sure everything's dialed in. Like when we did the Cypher, I fucking made sure I was not missing a thing. Yeah. And I was like, dude, the one take on that, you were like, hold up. I just hear it, hold up. You fucking swing the door open. That's what I'm fucking talking about. But like, I do the same shit. It's just like, I want to make sure I'm confident in that. And I'm more of as I've learned after this last album, I've been more punchline based. Like, I could be melodic, but I think I could be more melodic on shit like something similar to like Deja Vu from 9400
or Down for Me,
or Down for Me. Like I can be more melodic.
You can make hooks, bro.
I can definitely make some hooks, and that's the key thing for me is it's more of like what is it that I can do to proceed with that style. So I was like, I can't make any more shit that's kind of like more in the negative. It's more of like, let's vibe out, let's have a great fucking time. And with shit like Deja Vu and Down for Me, they're both melodic, they're both two different styles, but like, oh my god, dude, still to this day random people would put like, I got random follows, and then on their note on Instagram, like Deja Vu. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm gonna like that real quick. Some baddies in there, right? Double tap.
Hello.
But hello. And I'm like, all right, bet. So I do that. But then as I get like more tenured into that, I'm like, I think I could do even better. So the plan is for me is like kind of just not go dark, but isolate a little bit, rebuild, and just fucking songs locked up in the vault every single time. Like I want to at least get to at least 40 songs. And I know that's bizarre, but Chris Brown did it, so I'm going to do it. So get as many songs, and they're not even part of albums. They're not a part of anything with the project. I'm releasing that shit as singles left and right. And if I continue to build consistency and I continue to get a little bit of creative towards like the videos on Instagram or TikTok, that shit gains traction so fast. And that's the goal. So I was like, I've started to kind of getting wheels turn into that, where it's like I need to fucking lock the fuck in. And lately I've been more of like a don't give a fuck attitude. I'll start like not pressing people, obviously, because where I live is nobody to fucking talk to anyways, but it's just like lock the fuck in, don't settle for less, keep pushing, keep striving for better, and don't accept the bare minimum. It's like, don't even give yourself the bare minimum. Fucking push that and develop the person that you are. Because back when it was like SoundCloud or Whoa or the Taste remix, Taste got recognized by a record label, and those motherfuckers copyright strike my video, so fuck y'all. But I got it back, so fuck y'all. And it worked, and I was like, damn. So I was like, if I keep doing shit like that, where I'm using famous songs, get a little verse in there, promote that shit, heads start turning. And I want to do that more. So that's, I again, you can see that I have like just so many fucking ideas into that. And I feel like I can get back into, not saying I've ever fell off, but I can get back into that era.
Yeah, making fun music. But I think that comes with having fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just doing fun shit and just making music like how you always do. And bro, let's not discredit the fucking banger that you just dropped. Fucking preach, motherfucker, too.
Preach too.
Number dose in this bitch. You know what I mean?
So a lot of people had messaged me, why 2? And I was like, well, let me get it started. So when Kenny and I first started like getting close and becoming good friends, he was like, let's do a project together. I'm like, all right. So we did Preach on SoundCloud. And I was like, I don't care for the money. I just want to get the exposure. And I still think the same way, because it's just like whatever. But I feel like
streams don't pay that much anyway.
They don't pay that much anyways. I'm fucking, what am I going to buy? A pack of gum? The fuck? But it's like, whatever. We're in inflation, whatever. But we were like trying to work on shit. So we did Preach. That was my very first project. I had 2 features. The homie Cloud that I met at LA Film School. Still a great dude. And the homie from Atlanta, B1. And those were the 2 tracks that were the most popular because of those 2. And obviously because of me too, but like having more dedicated features into that mix, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now we know what we're cooking with. So when Kenny and I first talked about it, he was like, I think it's time for the second one. I was like, let's get more creative though. Like, let's get a little creative. I'm such a nerd when it comes to building an intro, because I love movies. So I like making it cinematic. I want people to grasp onto that shit. Like 9400 had a monologue to it. Yeah. And then it went straight to the most ignorant fucking track, which is solid. Running Man was like the punch in the throat.
Yeah, bro. Banger,
dude. I was on a sick one the entire time, but so was Preach 2. Preach 2, I was on another sick one with fucking like the end of the track and the first track. So slam poetry, Kenny had that idea, and I was like, all right, let me see what I could do. And I was like, it's easier than I thought because it's more of like a spoken word for me. And the way it transitioned well, it was like, oh fuck, like people can feel onto that, and that actually got more traction than like songs like Gossip or something like that. And I thought an intro is just an intro. It won't get as much plays just because it's supposed to grasp people, but that's the point of it. It's like an opener.
Yeah.
It's like it's getting the people rolling.
How important is that to you to have that cinematic feel in your music?
I think it depends on the message behind it. On the album, I think that it's a very important thing. You don't need it all the time. Like if I have an album of just fucking bangers, I don't need no interlude, I don't need no intro, I don't need no outro. But if I have like a project kind of like a similar like Joyner Lucas-esque ADHD, I love cinematic shit like that. Like Joyner Lucas's album ADHD, Dr. Dre's Compton, the one that he released
for the movie.
Yeah,
Banger,
dude. I kind of use those two references specifically because that's what kind of tied in both the 9400 intro and the Preach 2 intro. And I wanted it to be able to grasp onto people where it's like, fuck, man, like this is serious shit. So 9400 was more of the era of like, this is the past, this is the future. Preach is kind of like a remnants of the past, like a flashback, I guess you could say. But like the lyrics behind it were like cold. You know, it's fucking literally just talking about, I said the most ignorant line and it actually worked pretty well, where it was like, memories to smithereens put me out of my misery. I drank a love potion and it turned out to be Hennessy. So I was like, I was ready to fucking just mosh pit straight up. But nah, like it was like such a cool thing where I was getting a little bit more unique, stepping outside the box. It wasn't me like speaking, it was me like, I want people to understand where I'm coming from. And I think like to answer that question still, it's more in like just depends on the project you're doing. I can drop an album kind of similar to like Kendrick Lamar's last album. Was it GNX? Mm-hmm. He didn't have an intro, but that shit was slappers, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and I've said this about that album too. It's not like his best work, but it's fun. It's a fun album, and it didn't need all that extra shit. Like how you're saying, like some projects like they'll benefit from that. Some projects even lack it a little bit, but if they don't need it, then why add it?
And that's the point. Is like it's like that's a perfect way of putting it. Is his album had slappers, peekaboo, fucking squabble up. Yeah, you gotta if you sample Debbie Deb, turn his TV off. If you got fucking Debbie Deb as a sample, that's equivalent to this half whitewashed Puerto Rican having fucking Elvis Crespo sampled on Suavemente. Straight up. It was like, it's equivalent. It's like, all right, like you get the feel, the flashback, like the childhood memories. And it's like everything, the presentation was solid. But he didn't need an intro.
Nah, hell no.
He told a story in every single song while still having the most fun. And it's like, god damn, like that shit.
He kind of did start it with the that chick singing in Spanish.
What was it like? Whacked out murals or some shit.
I don't remember the song, but I know it starts with the chick.
It does. It's like a.
That sounded.
Do it again. Do it again. Just. See, it's like in the vocals, dude. Yeah. Let's go. You're bleeding a little. Nah, but like we could edit that. You always gotta see it. But nah, dude. I think it was a really cool thing. You want to make it a grass feel. You know, people want to feel
a grass feel.
Grasp.
A grasp feel.
Grass too. It depends on what grass you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? A little zaza. You know.
A little magic grass.
But nah. I think that's perfect ways of putting it. It's just the way of how you're making your project. You don't need an intro. I'm a sucker for an intro when it is needed. If you have like a similar message. Because 9400 was the rebirth of who I once was. Preach was just kind of like a flashback of the past, hence, you know, Preach 2. And it's just preaching how you feel from the heart.
Right.
Every song was, even Coffee and Creamer had a message behind it and the story behind it, including Die for This. We know that. We know that shit. That shit got me in trouble.
That's my favorite one.
I know it's his favorite one.
I would die for this shit. I got ice in my veins.
I would die to get rich. I just piss people off, but I don't give a fuck. But that shit was still a slapper though. But nah, dude, I'm excited for more. Aside from that, like the podcast too. The podcast has been doing really well. I talked to the guys actually because we still obviously keep in touch because they're my boys. But obviously, I told them like with me moving out of state, we got to take a little bit of a pause, build a new schedule, and then back up to speed so that I can get everything settled in. I come in on the weekends, we record for our time that we record.
Well, explain to the people out there if they've never seen the roast. What is the roast?
So the roast is pretty much three guys that typically have the most dumbest fucking conversations, like as if we had it in a bar. So the history behind that is me, Miguel, and Jacob, along with a couple of other of our homies. We all used to work for the same company, same store, in a retail environment. We're all kind of members of management. Most of us were, and it was located in Moreno Valley. We would go to downtown Riverside at Duke's Bar and Grill. Every time, like, y'all want to go for beers? We're like, fuck it, why not? So we either go just to fuck around, or we would just go because there's a fight. Like we went to go watch the Mike Tyson fight there, which was really fucking dumb. So we were just there to drink pretty much. But we go, and every time we're there, it's just like kind of like how we are on our podcast, except there's no microphone, and we're a little bit more unfiltered. It was like, who the fuck's gonna get mad? But
y'all are pretty unfiltered on the.
We still are pretty unfiltered. I still haven't reached the level of how I usually am, but then again, I'm not intoxicated during the fucking pod.
True.
But it's even worse. But nah, so we all talked about it, and then the three that were kind of in loop about making a podcast was me, Miguel, and Jacob. Mm-hmm. So Jacob was like, I want to do a fucking podcast. Like, let's do one now, whatever. And I was like, no. Like, I want to do one, but we got to build a system around it before we do anything. This was a 2-year system where I was like it didn't have to be 2 years. It was just life,
Yeah.
Shit's got to get done. And we started talking about it. We did a meeting at my house, and I was like, this is what I'm thinking. We can film on a Saturday. Nobody's doing anything, no work, nothing. And I will edit throughout the week. And when I edit throughout the week, I will also film shorts or record the shorts, choose specific times on how to do that. And then I will start releasing the podcast, the episode. Well, the harder part was kind of figuring out the audio side of it, because Apple Music makes you jump through so many fucking hoops to the podcast department.
You guys upload it to like streaming platforms and stuff?
Not yet. Like I think after this pause or during this pause, it gives me a better time to kind of look at it in that way of like releasing it on streaming platforms.
It's exclusive to YouTube.
It's exclusive to YouTube. Any other clips, like short clips, TikTok, for some reason it's popping off on TikTok all the time, and Instagram, on my Instagram, and the Roast Podcast Instagram. But we had a whole system to it, and we're like, all right, let's start filming in June. All right, bet. Our first episode was kind of like getting the feel, like people who know who we are. The second episode was like off the fucking rails. Third episode was off the fucking rails. We got a porn star to fucking mention us. It was so fucking funny. And
wait, is that the one that you had to redo too?
No.
Oh, that was episode 4?
No, that was episode 3.
That was episode
I had to say it was 3.5. But I had to say it was 3.5 because my dumb ass didn't hit record. I was so excited to film. But dude, they will not shut up. Like, well, I didn't fucking forget to hit record. But
are we? Yeah. Right,
no, we're recording.
Yeah,
I got the PTSD. I was looking at the fucking dot on there. But I was like, all right, cool.
We're good. All
right, but like, we've gotten just enough traction in 3 episodes that we still have episode 4 and we still have episode 5. I plan on releasing it still, despite, it being a while, because I plan on rebranding it as much as we can. Miguel even texted us about making t-shirts recently, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, let's do it.
Yeah, get the merch out.
Get the merch out, and then start promoting it more. And I just think kind of getting that ball rolling, paying for the advertisements, getting that situated, I think that it'll be solid. So it's like, if I put more of an emphasis on the podcast and I record behind closed doors, like whenever I'm home in Utah, I'm able to knock out both pretty easily. But the podcast kind of got me out of my comfort zone where I'm not so serious like with music. Because music, I have fun with it, but like when I'm doing shit, like I'm a little bit more in my zone. With the podcast, I'm like laid back and like I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like I'll say the dumbest shit and it works. Like literally the last short that we had was about my dad saying that he forgot that I was on I had a podcast, or he didn't know. And I was like, bitch, like you saw it.
You see me.
You see me see you. Like straight up. And then these motherfuckers thought it was like my burner account. And I was like, you fucking dumbass. But other than that, like
was some AI shit.
It's like AI shit. The fuck is? I can't even say that's not me in 20 years because that's my fucking dad. But it was like so cool to be able to expand into a different area, to where like if one takes off, you can still do the other, but you're probably more focused on this.
Do you feel like it lets you kind of reset a little bit on your musical creativeness?
Yeah.
When you're just like, all right, I'm gonna just do the podcast. I can focus on something fun for a little bit, and then when you're back to music, you tap back in.
Oh yeah, like I mean, you know this from experience too. Like writer's block or creative block on music fucking sucks. You're working and then you can't think of anything. You're like, it pisses you off, and you're like, God damn it. But like the podcast gets me out of that, where it's like I don't think about music. I think about what topics we got, because I have a whole list of topics, and we'll start talking about random shit. We'll start going through that, and we'll like I'm the kind of the one that transitions the topics as much, and then I go from there because I have my phone right there, but I also have my laptop, my old ass janky ass laptop. But I will go down the list of topics that we talk about, and then we can immediately bounce off of it perfectly. Right. But I think that it really takes me out of my comfort zone. And it helps me adapt and gets the creative flow going, because if I don't, granted, I love music. Music has been in my DNA for like, I think since I was like 6 or 7, just because of my family. And it was really cool because I got to know more about what my family had done. My cousin Lonnie, who got me into that more and was like, be yourself, be this, be that, despite the fact that he was like in and out of jail. Like he was very good role model on the music side and even on a family side. But the podcast got me more of like not being afraid of being myself. I don't need no fucking persona. Like every time I work on music, I don't have no fucking chain. I got to watch because I love watches. But it's like, you don't see me with no fucking Cuban link.
Sometimes you pop out with a little gold chain.
I mean, I might. You know I think I might.
You might flex on them one time.
It's like, hey, bro, is it hot in here? And you just see it popping off a little bit. But like,
show up in rapper mode. But
it's like, you know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? But like,
no, you do keep it very true to who you are, and you've always been very. That's why I've always fucked with you, and I feel like that's why we've always made music well together, because we're very real motherfuckers, and like. You always kind of express that through your music, of just authenticity of this is who I am, this is how I feel, and this is how I'm going to make you feel for the next couple minutes while you listen to this song.
Yeah, and I've grown more comfortable on that too, where it's like, continue being myself, dude. I've come across people, I won't name them, but like I've come across people where like if I did a remix of a song, like Taste, come across people with egos, and it's like, how did that work out for you? You know, it's like, granted, I'm no millionaire, like I fucking wish, but I'm no millionaire, like, but I'm still I'd rather take the harder route, and I emphasize this wholeheartedly to people. I actually had a conversation with somebody who was asking me about music, and I didn't know her, but we were just talking about music on Instagram, which was cool. She was very sweet, and she was like, all right, cool. We're talking about the importance of lyricism and how authentic it is for you. And it's like, I've come across people who like put this whole persona, like, do you know who I am type thing? Like, I know Chris Brown, but obviously he don't know who the fuck you are. Like, you're still sleeping on the couch. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But it's just like, I've gotten recognized by people. I mean, I've gotten recognized by people. I got to work with a Latin Grammy producer and still good friends to this day. He got nominated twice. His name is Beats Academy. Super cool dude. Heavy ass Hispanic accent. Reminds me of family. It's pretty funny. But it's like, I don't need to emphasize that too much and be like, do you know who I am type shit. It's like, never satisfied. I want to keep moving.
Let the music speak.
Let the music speak. Because it's like, what just from that session that I got to work on, that opportunity I got to work on, that doesn't mean I got fucking 6 figures in my bank account right then and there. No, that just means that someone had eyes on me, and I'm able to push forward from that.
Yeah. I remember when used to be Petty J.
Dude, Kenny's.
This
still.
motherfucker used to be the most petty motherfucker
I was
ever.
an ass.
But it was like awesome. You know what I mean?
Like, you pissed me off, diss track, your name's on it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I've done it so much, bro. Like, and what's funny is, like, Petty J low key be creeping. Like, Petty J be creeping mostly on Instagram. Like, I literally said this right before he record. I be going at it with wrestling fans on Instagram. Obviously, we're WWE fans. You know, we're excited. I've gone to WrestleMania. We watch shows together. We have a fun time all the time.
Yeah.
But I will go at it.
They got me into this fucking wrestling and shit. Now I'm a fucking nerd too, and I love this shit.
It's great. I will say though, number one for me, I'm a 2K champ. They hate me. They hate me.
Well, yeah, because you always just pick Roman and just like fuck everybody.
There's times I picked up Randy Orton, and y'all got RKO out of nowhere. But bro, I got fucking triple teamed. And I
was just jumping his ass in the corner.
Like, well, don't let him go. Bitch. Don't let him get up.
Yeah, don't let him get up. Stomp his ass.
I had to fucking put the controller down. I'm like,
well,
I need y'all to run out of stamina. But
yeah, you deserved it that time.
Cause I was heavy hitters. but anyways, no. Like, back to the whole thing. I would go at it with fans, yeah, because they would fucking, so many people in the wrestling community like watch it to be critics now. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? What happened to your childhood? Like, you think I was 6 watching WrestleMania and being like, oh my God, he should have did this. And no, motherfucker, I was like, oh my God, the lights. Like, Eddie Guerrero just went out in a lowrider at WrestleMania 21. Like, I was like, I didn't
know cars could do that.
How the fuck am I a critic? And I go at it with people on Instagram where I'll just say the most like blunt shit possible. They'll say something. Like, I saw a post on a wrestling account on Instagram. It was like, oh, WrestleMania this year in Vegas feels so lifeless, blah, blah, blah. And the caption said, agree or disagree. And my ass being, mean, I'm just like, disagree. Y'all just complain too much. And I just get flooded with virgins. Just fucking, fuck you, baby. Like, I was like, all right. It reminds me of like that South Park episode when they're playing like fucking World of Warcraft. And they're all fat. And I'm not saying I'm skinny, but I'm just saying like, I'm outside touching grass. And it's just like, I'll just go at it. Like, this guy.
That's so funny.
This guy, I did one punch, like pretty much one punch messages left and right on the comments, not through DMs. I'll fucking expose you. And straight up, I've done it before. And this guy, like, trying to diss me, he's going to throw the jabs that I know he's going to throw, podcasting, music, the whole fucking 9 yards. And I'm like, is that all you got? And then he kept going back, and I was like, bro, you got no profile picture because you're fucking probably ugly as fuck. And he goes, I post my GF all the time. And I was like, well, you're a private, so no one cares. And I was like, I never figured I would ask. I didn't give a fuck. So he got mad. And he brought up, oh, you got 16 monthly listeners on Spotify. I was like, yeah, one of them's your mom. Fuck off.
And another one's your girl, bro.
Another girl, fucking mic drop pussy. But like, it just goes back, like, I'm such a dick. And I've gotten more comfortable with, like, I'm super sweet, super nice, family first, friends first. Like, those are my homies. Homies are my brothers, always and forever. That's it. That's how I am. My loyalty runs deep. I've had friendships for over a decade, over 2 decades, and that's how it is. But I have learned, and it kind of goes back to how I am when I moved out of state, I've learned to get more comfortable with saying no. I'm not going to fuck with that. No, I'm not going to allow shit to fly. Or no, you ain't going to try to make me look stupid, bitch. Like, I'm coming for you by the throat. Like, that's just how it is. So when I thought about music and I told Kenny, Kenny kind of heard me rant. It was pretty funny. I was like, he's like, bro, tell me why Whoa is still like popping, dude. And I was like, that's what I'm telling you. I'm tired of fucking no more depressing bullshit. That shit don't do numbers as much as Whoa. I was like, now we just gotta make some fun shit. We're having a great time. We're enjoying life. This, that, and the third. I'm not here for any bullshit now. So he just heard me rant. And then I told him about the whole Instagram thing, and he was busting up laughing. I was like, I just go at it with people. Like, even if it's in person, whatever, with the wrestling fan, I don't give a fuck. You gonna cry? I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, bro, you remember when motherfuckers used to get into like Twitter fights?
Oh, I was low key.
Remember Twitter back in the day? I know you was one of those motherfuckers, bro. That was like just starting the most apocalyptic shit on Twitter.
I don't give a fuck, dude. Like oh my god, what was it 2016? That was like during like me. I was like just graduating high school, and me and this dude went at it over a girl, obviously. And I'm just like pretty much like, oh, ask her how my dick tastes. Like I don't give a fuck. I was so mean. And then I always got scolded by homies. They're like, dog, you ain't gotta be like that. But then fast forward to now, they're like, nah, Jay was like that.
Yeah, Jay was for sure.
But
like
now
that,
I'm like
bro.
more
I can
like
vouch for that too.
No, I'm more like if I'm petty, but I ain't crying about it. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what are you gonna do? My bills are still paid. I don't fucking care, dude. That's how I am on the podcast now. The guys get it out of me where it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Just trip out? You know how many ball jokes I fucking get every day? You think I lose sleep over that? I was like,
nah, y'all be on each other's heads, bro.
Bro, they be fucking with me. You know, Miguel got me a little green Buddha. He goes, I got you something. Blah, blah, blah. He fucking sets it on the table, and it's a little green Buddha. And I was like, you fucking bitch. Like,
this is Jay.
He's like, this is Jay. He's like, I got you. I got a statue of you. And I was like,
damn, bro.
I was like, bro, he ain't even got facial hair. At least put facial hair on this motherfucker. Like,
you see me lined up.
You see me lined up, dog. You're just gonna fucking, he's bald, and that's it. But like, that's just how it is, bro. Like, you gotta have thick skin nowadays. If you got homies that'll like ride with you, y'all can shoot the shit. Y'all can shit talk each other. But like, no one else can do that to you.
Yeah, fuck no.
If we're kicking it and there's some random dude that's fucking up the vibe, I'm probably gonna be one of the first and be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Or if they get in the homie's face, like, nah, hands are flying. Or someone's getting dropped. Like, straight up, I didn't train for nothing, really. fucking just, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, yeah, they don't need to know about all that, bro.
They don't need to know. Are you sure? I'm just saying, bro.
About the killers.
The killer, dude. That's all I'm saying. It's like my dad was like kind of the Miyagi of the group, but nah, I think wrestling kind of got me like less tempered. I used to be very temperamental. Like I just didn't give a fuck.
Bro, you was temperamental when we was in wrestling too.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I give a fuck. That was fun though, cause the little fucking cholos.
But you was never, like, mean about it. I mean, you was mean sometimes, but never, like, malicious, you know?
No, like, I would be mean if, like, my buttons are pushed.
Yeah. But like, it was mostly just, like, all right, yeah, like, all right, you want to start some shit on the internet? This is, you don't want to start that. I'll show you why.
And I was like, bet. All right, cool. Like,
here's point A, B, and C why you should not do that.
Dude, I had diss tracks on SoundCloud that were so bad that when shit went down with that person, as I got older, I was like, oh, I don't think that's good. So I was like, let me put that on private or delete it, depending on the extent. But as I get older also, I'm like, all right, if I'm going to diss somebody, someone's getting dissed. Like, it is what it is. I don't fucking care. Like, literally, slam poetry on Preach 2 was like, I pretty much made it clear in the most blunt way possible. What was the lyrics on the end? It was like, shit ain't been the same since my grandmama died, because when she passed away, I saw where family lies, and what loyalty was calling saw where family hides. I was like, kind of petty J poking out a little bit, but it was like, I don't give a fuck. It's you want me to be honest, you want me to be true to myself, you want me to be straightforward. It's as straightforward as it fucking gets. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't really care. I care about myself. I care about building myself and being a better person, a better artist, a better man, better podcaster, whatever it is. But I'm not going to allow somebody to just step on it any longer. I think that that's where it gets to me to where I'm at today, where it's like I'm prepared to have confrontation, even though it's like I'm not like tense all the fucking time. It's just like I'm very mellowed out. I'll smoke a blunt if I need to. I don't fucking care. But it's like I'm chilling the entire time. I'm enjoying the ride.
How important is it to add those like vulnerable moments of shit that's like real in your music?
Honestly, that is depending on how I'm feeling. So obviously, like there's times Blackheart was actually a really good experiment for that. It is a very tough time, and Blackheart was like, it was, what were we doing? We're in the midst of making a project. And then I got recognized by the game, which was a waste of my time. But it was pretty cool to get recognized, but I was like, whatever. That's when we did No Games.
Yeah.
And we were like, Kenny's like, fuck, we got to release this album then. I was like, oh shit. So we started working on the album, and despite my mind being all over the place, there was a lot going on besides the pandemic, and I was able to speak from the heart. It like songs like anything from actually Blackheart or anything from Preach to 9400 kind of got a little bit of shit that I'm feeling, but it was more of like a good feeling. It was like a more standing up for myself type of feeling. But for like Blackheart, for example, OD, I remember I still have the video of you, the man. Like fucking that shit was comedy. Go download that right now.
Right now.
So that song was like a true story about how I felt, what I was dealing with, and we produced and recorded it that night. Plain and simple. I had same thing how we function here. It was like one of those songs where it's like we built it from scratch and completed it, mixed and mastered that day.
Yeah, that was my favorite one off that. Well, I don't know if it's up there.
It's up
there.
It's up there. There's some songs.
Like maybe now with time, there's a couple more that have maybe grown on me.
I think there's a couple songs that are kind of sleepers. I think both Itchy Bonds are fucking sleepers. They got views, but I think that I wish that they were able to be published on all platforms. That's what I'm saying too, is like we can make songs like that. And get back to that shit.
The
Itchy Bondon. There's one thing that I thought about too. We've had features together. We were a part of features together. We performed together. We have never had an album together. And I think that that's going to be fucking fun.
Broken Oranges?
No. We can call it that. I was kidding. But I mean, I could just give me a cowbell and just chill. But nah.
We'll give you a bass guitar.
Well, have you ever spoke about the Broken Oranges on any podcast?
No, but we'll save that one.
The legend, dude. The legend. This dude almost gave himself a fucking headache. I love it. No, he did.
Gave myself a damn hernia, bro.
Just fucking moshing.
Almost shit myself and threw up at the same time.
Dude was fighting demons and moshing with his thoughts straight up. But I'm saying, like, I think that.
Yeah, the GB53, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, Kenny, if you watching this, motherfucker?
You know what I'm saying? I think we could do a great project like that. And I'm not even like, we ain't got to do nothing like serious. We could do straight like Smoke.
Bro, I get people that hit me up about that song. Like recently, bro, the other day, one of my clients was like, oh yeah, I checked out your music and that song Smoke, bro, banger. I'm like, wow. Like all the music that we put out, but Smoke hits, bro. That's how you know it's a good song. If it stands the test of time, it's a banger.
You know what else is a good banger, and I think it's very, very underrated. I think that I should have just advertised a little bit more, but I mean, it's still a banger. Back Then.
True.
Back Then is a fucking banger, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I kid you not, like, the hook to that, the fucking verses, mine and yours, that shit was great. And I think that even the Hidden Woe remix was great.
Yeah. Running Man?
Running Man was fucking great. Man. Bro, the fucking lyrics on that one, we just didn't give a fuck.
That's the one I had to re-record, huh?
Yeah.
Because, like, we lost the verse somehow.
We lost the verse, so we had to re-record it all.
Yeah, and the first time I recorded it, I was, like, super hype. Like,
we were, like...
Stupid. I was stupid.
Well, we were like, okay, this is what I thought. I was like, this is what I have in mind. And I think it was, like, kind of similar to Jimmy Cook's. And it was, like... I was like, all right, this is what I have in mind. And this beat, I think, could resonate with this. So we were cooking that. You were cooking that. And I was like, all right, I fuck with that. And we found a sample, did it all, and we wrote it. And we went all out. It was one of those songs that we did it, mixed, mastered, and everything. And then I forgot, I think it was like a crash or something on the system, and we had to redo it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
And you're like, fuck it, let's redo it. So we still had the beat. We're like, let's do it again.
Yeah, then you know what that means? We got to make it even more hype this time. Like, y'all thought that one was hype, we got to turn it up.
I'm saying, like, we can do a project similar to Smoke, Back Then, Running Man. We can get, like, not even like a full-on album. It could be like a 6-track EP or, like, one of those projects that artists do where it's like it says the project, but it's
a little quickie,
you know what I'm saying? You know,
just you know what I'm saying,
a little something. But I think we could do something like that, and it could be fucking just great. I think that would be fun. And as I'm like kind of getting all that stuff, I can easily just record it at home now. I did that for the intro for slam poetry. I was like, oh fuck, I forgot. Like I need to record this.
Hey, how nice is it like having a setup where you can at least even get your ideas and get some bars out?
Honestly, despite the detour that I have to take to get a laptop, I love it. I was able to do the intro for the slam poetry for Preach 2, and I had the blinds. I closed it. It's dark. They block the sun immediately, and I was just like in my zone. TV's off. It's dark, and I was just like able to feel it. And I think if I'm able to just feel it on the beats or what I'm making, I was like, man, I was able to cook shit even not being in California. Like, I got 2 tracks that I got to find the stems for, but it was like, I actually got 3 of them, but 2 of them I made in Utah. And I was like, oh, fuck, like, I can really do this. That's why when I was talking to Kenny about getting a laptop, I was very adamant on trying to get a laptop, put Cubase in there, keep Final Cut on my big computer, and then just cook. Just cook any day of the week. Just relax, stay home, cook a little bit. If I got homework from school, do that shit. But get all my shit locked in. Send Kenny like the stems. Add whatever you want to add in there. There's times like a 9400 he added 808s for me because I gotta get better at my 808s. But like in terms of the drum pattern, I was able to mimic certain beats. Like Gang Gang, I was able to do Deja Vu and mimic that exact drum pattern.
No, yeah, I remember one day you came through with some beats. I was like, bro, you made this? I'm like, yeah, bro.
Bro, like straight up, it was so good. Deja Vu was like the best one. I love all the tracks, and 9400 is by far one of my best albums that I've ever done. But
yeah, I forgot you produced some of those joints.
Deja Vu was like, oh my god,
bro. Yeah, you went crazy for sure. You went crazy.
That one was good. The ones, so you had produced Running Man, Kenny had produced Hometown Boy, and then I did the intro, What's the Move, Deja Vu, and Mob and Deep. I should have extended Mob and Deep. Mob and Deep was a fucking god. Kenny was like, I don't know how to feel about it.
I remember when you made that beat too.
Kenny was like,
when you showed me it, I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, I think Deja Vu was by far one of the best. You helped me with that one because you were like showing me how to, I forgot what we did. We were like fucking with
pitch up the kicks.
Pitch up the kicks, and then like in the beginning where it just has the sample and then like the hi-hats and the snare. And you're like, just leave it like that, let it play out. And then after that, you hear the fucking kick, boom. And then I want to get back to that, like that itch is still there. But like when I try to record or when I try to work on the fucking Cubase, my computer crashes. So I was like, I got to fork out $2,000 for that. So I was like, I'll just do that, get that over with. And then I could separate it. That way I can edit the pod, edit any clips, because I also stream, which has been fucking hilarious, by the way. But like I'll do all that, and then
where do you stream on, bro? Where can people find your stream?
On Twitch, JVNDTA97. So I'll stream video games. Lately the guys and I have been playing Phasmophobia and playing Outlast Trials.
Kenny was telling me a little bit. It's like a scary game, right?
It's fucking funny. So Phasmophobia isn't as scary as Outlast Trials. Outlast Trials is like gory, but Phasmophobia is just ghost hunting. And it's not like the best quality like game, but it's still funny to play. Yeah. And it's like I have the dumbest fucking clips. I actually edited 3 yesterday, back to back to back. And I was like, because editing is like, it's done, right? So I got funny ass clips. There was one that I edited and I put like the Nacho Libre theme where one of my friends is trying to jump up. Kenny's actually grabbing, like he helps us up. And then I'm staring from the bottom. My friend Amber is like, it's not letting me fucking jump. And then Kenny reenacts the fucking scene from Nacho Libre. We go, sorry, you are too fat. And then tries to walk away. And I was like, see, this is the reason why we got to stream, dude. Because we get the dumbest fucking clips. Fucking and we're just like, it's similar to podcasting. It's like if we get, the guys don't want to do the podcast, but I have homies for that. You know, so if we have a group that streams, we get funny ass clips. I used to stream like years ago, and I actually got a clip on TikTok that was like 12,000 views. and it was actually more than that. And it was Ark Survival, like a dinosaur game, and it was just like pranking homies where they there's actually two of them. One of them where he was pranking homies where like, oh, if you press this button, like the animal that you have is going to, I think it was like a gorilla, and there's no saddle obviously because it's standing up. It was either a gorilla or like a Bigfoot, and you could sit on its shoulders. But if you press a button, it'll fucking toss you.
Oh,
So
shit.
we're like, oh, if you hold the button and you let go, like it'll do a special activity. Fucking threw the homies in the ocean when there's sharks in there and megalodons in there. So it was like, it was funny because that got a lot of views, as well as one where another friend hit us and wasn't a part of our tribe in the game. So all of our T-Rexes just beat the shit out of him. And it was hilarious. So like, I was like, I want to get streaming again. But doing scary games is by far the funniest thing to stream because we will say or do the dumbest shit and we're getting scared at the same time. There's no way you don't want to stream that. Like, you gotta get the fucking content for that. I mean, you know that. You fucking Urgi Mr. Content right here. You know what I'm saying?
That's me.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope, bro. And yeah, make sure to fucking go check that shit out.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get a jump in more. I think once I'm gonna edit. I'm actually gonna probably release a video tomorrow on Saturday, and it'll be a short clip. It's the dumbest fucking clip, but it's funny. Where we're playing Phasmophobia. I'm streaming. I'm walking out. My friend is kind of like away from his controller, or is just standing there. I just make like I'm hawking a loogie kind of noise, and I go Tua, and he goes, "You just spit at me, bitch." And I'm walking away, but you could see it's proximity chat, so you can say like, "You just spit at me." And then there's another one where Kenny dies, and that one's just fucking hilarious because he's like, "Bro, I always die." And Kenny had autotune. And I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
How the fuck he got auto-tune?
He has a voice modulator, bro. Like he's the only one with the voice modulator. So there's times where he's got a deep voice. There's times where he's got auto-tune. There's times where he's fucking sounds like a child. It's the funniest thing ever because it'll catch me off guard.
That's so fucking
like
crazy.
It's funny, bro. Like when he's got a deep voice, you go, "Come on, bro!" Like he's just fucking, he's insane. But I think I'm very big on the media side: music, videos, podcasting, streaming. So it's like if I can get multiple elements into that and one of them succeeds, that's all said and done. And I'll still do the other stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's like now I have to prioritize this. So if I have 3 different things, music, podcasting, and streaming, it's like, okay, let's just say streaming is doing more, then I'll prioritize that more because I know I'm doing more of that and I'll stream on a specific schedule. And I have my home studio, so I'm like, boom, I could record music or schedule my podcasts. And what I'm doing right now is making it a lot easier. Same for the podcasting, same for music. Whatever works more gets prioritized. But out of those 3, the music's one is always going to be the hardest, you know, because it depends on the demographic, depends on who's listening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the streaming and the podcasting would probably immediately skyrocket with the funny clips that we have. Saying we're being ourselves. I mean, you said it, I think it was like on episode 2 or 3 right before we hit record. You're like, you guys are like true to yourselves. And it shows. We literally had an argument on the stream about if fucking ketchup belongs on a hot dog. And it's an unreleased episode. It literally created a fucking debate. It created a fucking debate. And he's like, you guys are children. And we didn't. It was so fucking stupid. But it's funny because it brings out the truth. It brings out how authentic we are as a group.
Some real shit. Passionate in life. Motherfuckers.
You know the vibes. You know the fucking vibes, dude.
Hey, appreciate you. Hey, let them know where they can find you at. You know, we got the Preach 2 out now, available on all streaming platforms. You know what I mean? We got more new music on the way.
Yes, sir.
We got the streams happening. We got a new podcast coming up soon. So
yes, sir.
Make sure to tap in. Jay, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, so y'all can follow me on Instagram at JBowers97, JAYBOWERS97, my Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok, same thing, JBowers97. And my streaming on Twitch is JVNDTA97 as well. YouTube, The Roast Podcast, Jay Bowers Music. That's where all my stuff is going to be at. Most of my stuff is going to be on The Roast Podcast. Still working on a project to see how I can get more music videos out of the way, especially if I'm in Utah. But more music on the way, dude. I'm excited. Definitely love what we do. Besides me advertising for me, I want to let you know, Proud of you for all that you've done. You know, we've been around for a long time, but like, bro, me being into music a little earlier, I don't have all this shit, you know. So this is the home. This is the home away from home. So being able to be a part of this collective and grow with it and watch people grow within this studio, it has nothing to do with me. It's more of like you're running this shit. So you're representing the IE, you're representing Southern California, and it shows. I mean, fuck, man, you get clientele left and right. So aside from that, bro, I'm proud of you. You're like one of my brothers. So I got a lot of love for you. So I'm excited to see what's about to come.
Love you too, bro.
Love you too, brother.
You already know. Gucci Baby 53.
Gucci Baby 53. Throw your ones up. You know what I'm saying?